everyone in silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
What now? 180?
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You don't want none, baby. You don't want it.
This is Josh Jacobs, the Alabama man, with his first NFL carry. The tackle made that time by Bryce Callahan. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. From the 29, Carr. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there, first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Caught left side, Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Brings up 2nd and 4. At the Broncos 40-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Carr going to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo was a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Hey, check 20. Right.
24. You're mine.
From the gun, it's Carr. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down and 4. Lock. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
54. Mike 54.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. The quick slant caught. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Let's go, D, let's go.
They go with Jacobs, and he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. And that is incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
A run with Lindsey out of the gun. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3.
Let's go. Stick the oar.
Hey, let's get that home. Check 9, check 9.
Hey.
Bumps up the helmet. Here we go.
Hey, Charlie. Get it.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, Locke. He'll find Lindsey here. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Well, unless there's a postseason meeting later in the year, this is most likely the final time that the Broncos and Raiders will play in Oakland. Of course, so much history between the two since their inaugural season in the AFL back in 1960. Broncos and Raiders, they've been locked together in the same division, facing off twice a season. And this rivalry also stands as the most common pairing for Monday night games like we have here 18 times. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders, 33 yards, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go.
Throwing again. Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. His 2nd sack of the night. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20.
Ready?
Hey, 50, 50. 50's a Mike. 50's a Mike.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Scampering home from 19 yards out, and the Broncos have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived, as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Carr. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And the return will stop right around the 25. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. After the turnover, here's Locke. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Check 6-6. Bullet high.
Go. Shoot.
Freeman. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Check 42's the mark. All day,
Put up. And ready.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr throwing the out route incomplete. It's Grant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Safe.
Raider 2.
Carr now to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Throwing now is Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Check Mike. Right there, 54.
Now Carr. That's complete, right around the 8. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Block off of play action. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Man open left side, it's Williams. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
What now?
Carr now on first down. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller in the final seconds of the first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
61, matchbox lights.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
On first down, it's Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
90 whoops.
Second and 11. At the 47-yard line.
On second and 11 now. Lock. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They fake the handoff. Now Lock. And the pressure gets to him again. Shane Ray, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they've played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
So first and 10 now from the 30. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
93.
To throw his car. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left.
Now on 2nd and 13, Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Hey, Delta.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Von Miller in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On 2nd down, here's Locke. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, it hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
The 6th season in Denver now for Emmanuel Sanders after those 4 years in Pittsburgh. And you may recall Sanders tore his Achilles December 5th last year in practice. But before the injury, he was on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Would have been his 4th in his first 5 years in a Bronco uniform. And now at 32 years of age as he tries to return to full speed. Now a throw here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Locke. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Locke looks to throw it again. And the Raiders have got him. Markel Lee drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Down. At the 1-yard line. 54. Hey, we're good. You ready?
Put that team.
That's it.
In his own end zone, it's Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos push further out in front. Such an electric play. So much fun to watch. And you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Now Carr. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Check 99. Check 99.
The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's got this down to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Carr brought in over the middle by Graham. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams there to make the grab as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll go again with Lindsey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On first down, Lindsey. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And it's 3rd down.
Ready. 50. I'm coming after you. Hey, box truck. It's 50, Mike. Oh! 6-man. Check girls. Mike, 50.
They toss to Freeman. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Ready.
Another run by Lindsey. And an alley to run. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos push further out in front. Important extra point up and through. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a two-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Down. 180. 93. 93. We won it.
From midfield, here's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And he slides to avoid the hit.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 19. To throw is Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10.
Mike 22, Mike 22. Man, I got you.
Back to throw, Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. As they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Ready. 10-2 stop.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Denver, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.